Welcome to Miller's Lots, ladies and gentlemen. I have seen this question asked a bunch of times online in different uh, community boards and stuff I've seen. And they ask, do you have to maintain your blasters? In short, the answer is yes, absolutely. See, here's the thing. When you tune a blaster, you're adding parts on it that weren't meant to be there to begin with, okay? You're raising the FPS of it. You're creating extra stress on your blaster. So therefore, every so often you have to check your blaster for wear, tear, cracks, and occasionally, in worst case scenario, you'll have to reshell your blaster. What that is basically you take the guts out of your existing blaster when it got broke, that was modified, and you put it in a brand new shell. Okay? It's a very simple thing. That's why if you go over to like a modder's house, you may see 5 or 6 Nexus Pros laying around. I've seen it, no exaggeration. And what they are is basically when the shell breaks, they just transplant it. It's great. But in any event, the Nexus Pro is basically a very simple system to deal with. Okay, a lot of people use this system, and it's also the same on the Max Striker, the Eon Pro, and the Jurassic Pro as well. I mean, it's a very simple system. A lot of other blasters use this exact same system. This is one of the most basic systems. The Caliburn is even very similar to this, the same as the Taliclaw. So what I'm going to show you in this video, this brief tectorial, if you will, is what you should look for when you're maintaining your blaster. Keep in mind, you're going to have to do this about every 6 or 7 months, depending on how often you play. Because again, like I said in the very beginning, we're putting parts in these blasters and we're making them do things that they weren't designed to do. So of course we're going to have like the shell failure or parts like this. This is the catch may fail, or the plunger tube may crack. It's just a bunch of little things. So let's begin, shall we? I've already butterflied this blaster to open it up. I've also took it partially apart as well, just so it would be easy. Now, when you use the barrel, this is a worker barrel that came with the Nexus Pro metal kit. I have part of that kit in one blaster and another part in this one. But in any event, what you do to the barrel is very simple. A little bit of alcohol and a clean dart, and you just drive it through a couple times, back and forth. And it'll clean out any debris or anything like that, because that'll slow down the speed of your blaster. Okay? Very simple. Some of the other things that you may need is you may need Teflon tape, in case you want to seal up anything or anything like that, same with electrical tape. The type of lube that I use Super Lube, okay? It's a very nice lube to use. This and Slug Slime, but of course this is Super Lube. So what you do is you take your blaster like this. This is the plunger rod and head. See the O-ring there, how it looks kind of dry? Very simple. Very, very, very simple. Just a little dab will do you. All the way on. Very simple. Slide it back in. Now this thing also has other O-rings as well. Here and here. Again, so much, but I'll just put some on the other part as well. A little dab will do you. That's all you do. Very, very, very simple blaster to play with. And you've got one more O-ring up here. Same thing. And if you don't want to get lube on your fingers, me, it doesn't matter. I'm a mechanic. I deal with stuff like this all the time anyway. If you don't want to get lube on your fingers, all you have to do is just get a Q-tip. A Q-tip works just as well, I promise you, ladies and gentlemen. You gently put it back in. But you'll inspect your plunger tube for wear, tear, cracks, anything. This one was fine and it seemed to be fine. Gently just put it back in place like this. Look at the catch, make sure it's fine, functional, looks good. Now, this was the first Nexus I ever built, to be honest with you. I ended up putting in this one a turf spring, or not a turf spring, but a stock spring from a Jet Blaster Ceta. And it was a little bit stronger than the stock spring. Not a bad thing to have. You know, this is something that you have to do every 6 or 7 months, to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't do this, you're going to have failures, or you're going to have like an FPS drop or something like that. I mean, I have seen blasters drop as much as 40-50% because they're not lubed properly. I mean, it's not rocket science. It just is what it is. Take this, through like that. It always gives nice hex keys out too. Push it till it bottoms out. Just a little bit. Okay, it's not bottomed out yet. You know, it's not a simple thing to do. I mean, it is. It's just takes time and patience. There you go. And now that'll lock into place. Now I can take this hex key, tighten it up like this. Over here on this end. And this thing just has 2 little hex dots on it. Tighten it down really nice, really tight. I mean, it's a simple thing to do. And if you do this every 6 months, like you're supposed to, you know, they say you change the batteries in your smoke detector every 6 months. Great. Why don't you make that day the same day that you clean and lube your springers? I mean, it's something that needs to be done, yes, and absolutely, because it'll save you wear and tear on your blaster. And I mean, these blasters, they're not terrible to work on, so it's something you should try. It's something you should really do. If you play like I do, or like other people do a lot, or even if they just have a favorite blaster that they shoot in the yard for target practice or whatever. You know, it's a very simple thing to do. It's really cool. You know, and you clean and you lube your blaster, and it will perform better, I promise you. I mean, it's a very simple thing. In any event, thank you for watching my brief tutorial on maintenance of a blaster. Until next time, this is Miller's Mods signing off.